Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, if you've been to South Florida in the summer, and I know you have, you're familiar with this. Heavy rain. It's coming down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they interplay in this one. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And how about that defense last week? They pitched a shutout, and it's really more like a no-hitter because they absolutely dominated that game from the opening whistle.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Nick Bosa just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in Week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Nick Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Take it at the 37. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
Ready? 70, Indy. Kill. Now.
And to give this time to the tailback. The numbers for him from a week ago. 12 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown.
That's a good start to the season. They got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started, and they expect that to get tuned up and get better as the season moves on.
2nd and 1. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. That sack by Khalil Mack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Johnson, the intended target. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Able to power through. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10.
Ready. 8-3. It's a party now. 6-6. Pull it 5. Check 31. Check 31. 5.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Come on, set.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A 10-yard pickup. And it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
So we've seen some good pressure defensively already here in the first quarter. Here's another good example.
Check 3. Ready.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it, stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
19! Right there, 54 miles. Let's go, defense!
Throwing on third down, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. No score after one on EA Sports. Seven consonants, one vowel. Here's Juszczyk trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if he can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Now Watson completes this to Waring. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson gets this one to Juszczyk. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kyle Juszczyk, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They use their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go. Hey, box drop. Snap.
2nd and 5. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far in this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Trubisky will throw. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A quick throw out wide to Fuller. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey, Delta.
Back to throw. Bryson. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Bryson. He finds his man Johnson. A Miami first down on a 14-yard pickup.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Hey, echo.
On 1st and 10, Bryson, and this is caught by Evans. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Check out 61, matchbox lights.
Now a handoff here to his running back, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Throwing on first down, Bryson. It's complete to Fuller. And he'll be out of bounds. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
So far, just the single catch. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Here's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. From the 50, it's Watson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Hey, Zoo!
On 1st down, Bryson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Bryson. He's got Fuller. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Go now. 18 Gator. Get in the weight room. Hey, Alpha.
On 1st and 10, Bryson. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to so he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair, and he says, "Would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter?" And I'm like, well, all right, never mind. Third quarter action now. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess that in the locker room, they talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Pilot, 64, weak.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. And they will finally get him to the ground at the Texans' 10-yard line. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, "Ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home."
Throwing on first down. Bryson, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson, and the catch made by Hopkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
We got this.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Strong leg, strong leg, strong leg. Hey, orbit, get it.
Operating from the gun, Bryson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. This is Gallman. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bryson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Will Fuller. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys are back within a single score. Sanders now to add the extra point. Precision, precision, precision. That's the definition of it right there. Great pass, great catch for the score.
Yeah, people talk about arm strength all the time. Well, if you're not precise and you're not accurate, the arm strength really doesn't matter. We saw a little bit of everything with that throw.
A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. It was Minkah Fitzpatrick that time to break that one up. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Watson now to throw, and that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Elsewhere at Arrowhead, they're in the 3rd quarter, and the Steelers have scored yet again, really opening that one up. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And his throw is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
To throw again. Bryson. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin 1st down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down, Bryson. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 31-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Check 52. Look at me. Go. Let's go.
Looking to throw on second down. Bryson. And he's got his man on the out route. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
Ready to break. Go. Check 25.
Now Gallman. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Recon, 132 fighter.
On the ground, it's Gallman again. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Johnson's got it complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Escaping the pressure right. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Will Fuller with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook, not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses, also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Looking to throw. Bryson, and he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage, at least give your team a fighting chance.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sean Robinson, too much to handle that time, gets the sack. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 30 big ones.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them a lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Now a first down throw, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup, 41 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Now it's Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. To throw is Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Let's think about this stage of the second half. You're taking the chip shot field goal, right?
Boy, I'd love to be on the headset right now between head coach and play caller, because you know it's a heavy conversation right here, because I'm guaranteed the play caller is like, Coach, I've got this. I've got to play for this one. But the smart play, kick the field goal, take the chip shot, 3 points.
Yeah, tie the game. And his kick is indeed good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Every player I know tends to play the game in his mind before it actually happens. There's no way he thought that at this stage of the game, this would be his first big run like that.
Yeah, but it's got to feel for him like the floodgates open, a sigh of relief. Now we'll see if things can open up for him.
See if it can continue.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
29 is Mike 29. Set the tone, defense.
To throw on second down. Bryson throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 34-yard line. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Here's Gallman. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between second and 4 and second and 8 and 9.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll run again here with Gallman. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Gallman will run it. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The kick by Sanders is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Watson and the Texans now down 27-24, a little under 1:50 remaining. And they need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. You look to throw. It's wearing the tight end with it. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. He's back to throw. First things first here, they got to pick up the 1st down.
And remember, it is 4th down, so they've got to pick up a completion here. Otherwise, this one's over.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. He will push his way down to about the 14. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, watch the slant.
Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
5.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Miami, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams.